Hey y'all, my name is G. I'm an alter in the Bluejay system, and today's video is about my personal experience with the negative side of D.I.D. This is meant to shine a light on the darker side of this disorder, to show that it's not just a silly alter disorder where you hang out with your brain friends all day. This is from my perspective, so it's kind of like I'm talking to myself here, but if you're late, I hope it's refreshing to know that you're not alone. I'm going to try and keep this video lighthearted by using a comedic tone, but I will be mentioning topics like abuse, memory loss, and trauma. Viewer discretion is advised. I hope you enjoy. Number 1, dissociation. The main part of the whole disorder, the meat and potatoes, its namesake even. You wake up, you dissociate. You eat lunch, you dissociate. You get ready for bed. Wait, why are you on your phone? Fuck. You dissociated and lost 7 hours, and now the sun is up and the birds are chirping. Your whole day consists of dissociating. And the worst part is, the second you're not constantly distracting yourself, you're getting trauma memories playing in your head on a loop. There's nothing you can do to fix this. Good luck trying to be productive ever. Does your back hurt too? I bet it does. Guess what? Your back pain makes you dissociate. Number 2, flashbacks. They happen the second you stop dissociating. They happen randomly no matter how locked in you are. They can be physical, an all too familiar touch, a jolt of pain, discomfort, an itching that you know something isn't right. Or it can be an emotional flashback. You're angry now because this time of year 4 years ago something shitty happened. You don't remember what it was because your brain blocked it out, but you're angry now, and you feel guilt for feeling angry. It can also be your classic mental flashback, literally getting a flashbang of straight pain and torture, like a sick, intrusive thought playing like a movie in your mind's eye. Except it's real, and it happened to you. You're basically out for the count for the day after experiencing this. There is no being productive after remembering some new horrible thing you went through. God forbid you be in public or at work or school, and don't forget about the nightmares. Even if your brain is kind to you in the bright hours of day, it'll likely find a way to torment you in the deep hours of night. Number 3, amnesia. You'll always feel chronically left out when others talk about fun childhood memories. You'll grimace when you hear someone say they wish they could be a kid again, even if you don't quite know why. You will hold on to those few pictures of your little self for dear life, if you're one of the few lucky ones who got pictures of yourself taken as a kid. And the worst part? Even if you do get the chance to remember your childhood again, it'll be filled with abuse and trauma. Do you miss out on your childhood by hiding behind your memory loss? Or do you risk losing your shelter of amnesia just to know? When you know it'll only be pain. Just kidding, that's a rhetorical question. You have to heal. So you have to drop your amnesia walls eventually. It'll all come back to you in time. Let's just hope some positive memories manage to come along with the rest. They're going to be what makes it all worth it. And the thought that you survived, and that you're going to thrive. It does get easier. Life can be worth living, even for those of us with trauma. It just takes time, self-compassion, and patience. You've got this. I believe in you. Number 4, time loss. You blinked and 5 hours passed. Sometimes this is a slight exaggeration, sometimes it's not. Alarms won't help because you won't remember to set them. You'll remember important details days later. Don't leave the kitchen when you're cooking food, especially if you're using an open heating element. Trust me. Doom scrolling, hardcore gaming, and simply engaging in your hobbies are your worst enemies. But likely the only thing keeping you from getting bombarded with trauma memories. Oh, you had plans? Well, you touched your iPad and it's 4 a.m. now, sorry. Number 5, traumatized alters. Alters who are angry at the world and will say the absolute meanest, most vile shit a person can come up with about you, your system, your partner, and your partner's loved ones, just because they want others to hurt like they're hurting. You can't get mad at them either. They're just a traumatized kid. You gotta look that part of yourself in the face and tell them that you love them, but that shit isn't okay. You have to gentle parent the cruelest parts of yourself. Number 6, secrets. There's no keeping secrets in a close-knit system. Everything you think will be echoed to everyone around you, including personal thoughts, important secrets, and even the worst of the worst intrusive thoughts. And depending on who you're around, they might think you're genuinely thinking those things. Good luck trying to convince your brain parts that you're not a vile creep. It's basically impossible. Number 7. This is really dependent on the system, but for us, mourning the life we'll never get to have. Never getting closure, never feeling the love of a parent's hug, never getting to be a child. You have no one to go to when you need a parent. You don't get the opportunity to have a healthy life, a healthy mind, a healthy view of the world, unless you get lucky. In some cases, your parents' hatred will affect you, and you'll have to work 100 times harder than they ever have just to heal from it. You have to relearn everything you spent your whole life thinking was right, and you have to relearn it fast, or you'll hurt yourself or others. But that's the thing about healing. It's not linear. Sometimes it'll get to be too much and you'll stumble backwards, and you'll feel so horribly guilty and sick. Hopefully you have a support system, and hopefully they're patient, but you'll still feel guilty. It'll still hurt. But you gotta keep pushing and pushing and pushing all the time. It does get easier, I promise, but God, is it hard at first. It sucks knowing that if your people had just been better, even a little bit better, none of this would have happened. Number 8. To continue that last one. Being jealous of loved ones with better lives and better childhoods. They feel so sick and you'll feel so guilty, especially if they've also been through trauma, but just so happen to have a good parent, or a good support system, or a good group of friends. And you'll have to feel guilty and lonely because it's invalidating their trauma to claim that their life is better than yours. And you love them. You love them so deeply, more than you've ever loved anyone. And they're trying their best to make your life better now. So you've got to put those feelings aside and carry on. Number 9. Alters trying to steal the front. Imagine you're driving a car and some kid you've never met before jumps out from the back seat and tries to steal the wheel from you. That's horrifying. And that's going to happen pretty often. Whether you're metaphorically cruising down the back roads or doing 90 on the interstate. Now you have to focus on kindly telling the kid to please sit back in his seat and please give you a minute, while hoping you don't metaphorically crash. You're going to have to get used to dissociating in public, buddy. It's a part of being a system. Let's hope your friends and loved ones have noticed that you've stopped walking because you have to get control of your brain. Number 10. Comorbidities. BPD, OCD, MPD traits. You think D.I.D is just an alter disorder? Majorly, epically wrong. It's 5 different disorders in a trench coat, plus D.I.D. The alters aren't even on your radar. You have to worry about all this shit, plus your anger issues, intrusive thoughts, and the fear that you're actually a horrible, irredeemable human made out of scum. Not true. And you have to do those dishes and laundry today. You've been putting them off for days. Get it done on your own time. You have enough to deal with. When you do have the energy, wash it twice. Wash it 3 times. It's okay. Also, seriously, you're so valid, and your struggle is your own. Nothing about mental illness is easy. It's all difficult for all of us. It takes time and patience to heal, and it's so hard. But we humans are stronger than we know. We'll go on as long as we can. Last but not least, number 11. Alter residue. Maybe this is just our system, but alters who front for a long time usually leave what we call residue that makes it harder for the other alters to take their place. It sort of feels like their vibe is still in the front, and it prevents your vibe from filling up the front all the way. It also makes it easier for the previous fronter to get sucked back into the front. It basically just makes fronting after someone really difficult and blurry for a little while. And that's all I have for this first video. I'm going to make a follow-up with other negatives of D.I.D when I think of them. If you have your own negatives that I didn't mention, drop it down in the comments. I'm super curious to see how this disorder affects everyone. I hope this video was interesting and educational. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Make sure to eat food, drink water, and take your meds. I hope you sleep well tonight. G out. Peace.